Commissioner Brugaris,
Here.
Commissioner Stephen,
Present.
Commissioner Harris, Commissioner DeJournette,
Here.
Commissioner Corsick,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Baker,
Here.
Chairperson Sims is absent today.
Okay, now we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Robert Harris.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as submitted?
I move that we approve the agenda as submitted.
Okay, and we need a second?
Second.
Okay, you got to move to accept the agenda as submitted, and second by Commissioner Bargaris. All in favor? You want to do the roll call on the screen? No? We'll do a verbal on it, or?
Electronic vote.
Okay, motion carries 6-0. Moving on, public comments procedure. Any person wishing to address the commission on any matter, either under the public comment section of the agenda or scheduled items or of public hearing, must fill out a request to speak. The forms are available at the door. The completed form must be submitted to the secretary prior to the agenda item being called by the chairperson. In speaking to the commission, member of the public may be limited to 3 minutes per person except for the applicant for entitlement. The commission may establish an overall time limit for comments on particular agenda item. Members of the public must direct their questions to the chairperson of the commission and not to other members of the commission or the applicant, the staff, or the audience. The next side, let's see, then the public comments, are there any speakers on public comments?
No, sir.
No. Okay, thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the consent calendar. Do we have any, well, here's our leader. This will switch. On the consent calendar, do we have any agenda items on that?
We have the minutes of December 12th, 2019.
Okay, let's get the approval of the minutes here first for the December 12th, 2019. I need a motion and a second to accept the minutes as submitted. Okay, Commissioner Raphael,
Second.
second by Commissioner DeJournette. And then we need an overall vote. We want to vote on the machine? Okay, please vote. Okay. All votes, we got a 6-0 on that. Motion
I
carries.
need your vote, sir.
Is that they're not working, or? Double click. Okay, so we got a 6-0 accepted on the minutes, and now I'm going to turn the meeting over to our famous chair here. Next item, there you go, bud.
Pardon me for being late. Excuse me, I'm very sorry about that. Got hung up. All right, so we just did the approval of the agenda in the minutes, so. Okay, so did we already read the public comments? That's already done?
Didn't have any.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is item number 1, conditional use permit for retail cannabis dispensary, San Jacinto LN LLC. Can we have staff report, please?
The staff report will be presented by Senior Planner Sean Kelleher.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Sean Kelleher, Senior Planner of the project. Before you this evening is a conditional use permit for a new commercial cannabis dispensary, San Jacinto Lane. The subject site is located on the north side of Sunnymead Boulevard between Heacock Street and Back Way, and is located within Specific Plan 204 within the Village Commercial Retail District. The proposed cannabis dispensary is a conditionally permitted use within this district. The site is currently developed with a commercial building. In order to provide vehicular access to the rear of the site, an existing covered patio and trash enclosure will be removed. New proposed site improvements will include a new trash enclosure, new landscaping, and parking lot striping on site. The proposed site design complies with the city's development standards. The proposed tenant improvements within the building include a new customer lobby, showroom, offices, and a secured storage room. The applicant is proposing hours of operation between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. 7 days a week. Staff would note that during the preparation of the staff report, we did receive one public comment. They expressed concern with there being multiple cannabis businesses opening in close proximity to one another. It should be noted that the municipal code does not establish a minimum separation requirement for cannabis businesses, and that these businesses have are going through the proper procedures and review for their entitlement purposes. This proposed project, as designed, does comply with the standards of the city's municipal code. Therefore, staff recommends the Planning Commission approve Resolution 2020-1, certifying the project is categorically exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act, and approve planning case Pen 19-0053, subject to the conditions of approval. This concludes staff's presentation. Staff and the applicant are available for any questions. Thank you.
Because of my hub and rush and getting in here, I don't think I asked if anybody wanted to speak on non-agenda items. Is it, should we retract a little bit? Since
We can come back to it afterwards.
Okay.
There's no
So if somebody's here that
requirement
wants to speak that on a non-agenda item, I apologize. I was a little out of sorts here. So anyhow, we'll get to that. All right. So is there any questions that the commissioners have of staff on the report? None? Unbelievable. That's good. All right. Well, then, at this time, we'll take any public comments on this item? Do we have any?
No, sir.
Okay. Would the applicant like to address the commission on this?
Good evening. Thank you very much. My name is Rick Jackson. I represent the applicant. Just want to let you know that we worked very hard on this over the last year to comply with all city and state requirements. And security is our most important thing that we're worried about and concerned. And we've worked on very hard to make sure this is a safe environment for our clients, the customers, our employees, and the neighborhood. And we will strive to maintain that throughout the life of the business, to work with the police, the fire, everybody concerned, the city. We just want to be a good neighbor to everybody and produce a good quality product and be a safe environment for everybody. Thank you very much.
Does any of the commissioners have a question of the applicant?
The name of the business is, I see that the LLC is San Jacinto Lane.
Yes, correct.
Is that also the name of the business? Or?
Yes, correct.
Oh, okay.
It's very inconspicuous.
Okay. Yeah, I got that. I kind of thought that's what was,
Correct,
it was
yes,
going
sir.
to be. But, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have
Yeah.
a question, sir.
Sure.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I went over to the site over the weekend,
Uh-huh.
and I was able to look at it well, and then look at the diagrams, and see the improvements that you're going to be making to that particular lot.
A lot. A lot of
A lot
improvements.
and a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and And I'm grateful because I had to go all the way around the block to get to the other street back to look at the rest of it, you know, because there's a fence, there's a link, and I ain't gonna climb a fence
Right.
at all to take pictures.
Yes.
So I went all the way around to look at it, and I was looking for exits that it didn't have until you actually look at the diagram.
Right.
And I'm grateful that you're adding additional 2 doors to the back of the building.
Yes.
Because it's important for me to know that if there's an emergency in the front, the employees and customers, I'll be able to get out through the back.
Yes.
You know, so that's a good thing that you're adding to the building, besides the lights and the upgrades and all that, you know, and the landscaping. And I'm also glad that you're gonna have security, so the neighbors are gonna be more secure. There's gonna be a professional run operation. So those are one of the nice things that I like to go and look at a project, you know, and I look forward to seeing it finish, because you're gonna have a nice runway, you know, from the front to the back, so the customers can enjoy it. So I'm glad for the exits and the things that you're gonna be doing to the project.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Any other questions?
I had one question. On conditions of approval, what is it? The 31 on page 24. It says the applicant shall install automatic closures on all interior and exterior doors. Is that like when you walk up, the door just opens automatically?
No, it just means that when somebody walks through the door, it closes automatically, because we don't want to leave the doors open for odor control.
Okay, all right.
Don't
So
want
it's an
air to go
automatic
out.
closure.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? Or questions of the applicant? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, if there's, again, there's no public comments on this?
No, sir.
Okay, so this is be deliberate about deliberations. Do we have any deliberations on this?
I'm glad that I was able to go and get some things clarified with the staff, because I did call them on a couple of issues, and they were able to clarify some things for me. And I'm also glad to see on the plans that there are going to be additional doors for, again, the employees and the customers to be able to get out through the back. And I know that the fire department has a lot to do with that, because it's important when I see their involvement, because safety is the priority of Moreno Valley and the residents that live here and work here. You know, those are the things that when I look at the conditions, and there are 75 of them, that he will be compelled to apply to, you know, and I always look at fire, exits, and then cameras and security and all that good stuff that goes with it. But once again, I'm glad that the fire department is always involved in these projects, because, again, we want customers and employees to be safe. And those doors are very important for them. So, and all the good stuff that eventually this building is going to be finished with, all the paint, the flowers, it's gonna look good in the neighborhood. It's gonna make Southern Boulevard stand out a little bit more when you drive by. You know, and there's rules. You gotta be 21. Cannot walk under permits if people can't hang out. I love those rules. Those are safety rules. So I'm glad that also with the fire department, there's law enforcement and the city codes that go out there and check. So it's a nice project. I love what the staff does with the paperwork. It should ensure people that they're doing their job.
I guess we're in deliberations now. I attended, I think the last meeting we had a cannabis facility that was being proposed on the south side of the road, closer towards Indian, if I recall. And I whether or not we think that the cannabis things are the best things, but it is business, and the city has made a significant investment on trying to improve Sunnymead Boulevard. So business, renewal and upgrade of any of the buildings along that way and getting in more foot traffic and business traffic along there I think it has ancillary effect a positive effect on the entire area. So, yeah, I think it's a good thing. A little bit of development or redevelopment of that area, so it's good. Any other comments, or are we looking for a motion regarding this item? All right.
I make a motion that we approve resolution number 2020-01.
Do we have
I
a
second.
We have a first and a second. All right, let's have a vote. Okay, it's approved 7-0. Good luck on your project. Do we have a staff wrap-up?
Thank you. Yes, the action taken tonight is appealable. Any appeal would need to be filed within 15 days in writing, directed to the Community Development Director, along with the appropriate fee. Appeals would be agendized for consideration by the City Council. Thank you.
Great. Well, the agenda says we don't have another item, we don't have another item, and we don't have another item. So that's do we have any staff comments? What?
I have nothing to share tonight.
What? It's Happy New Year. Gotta have something.
There you go. Happy New Year.
All right.
We
All
would
right.
say
Any planning commissioner comments?
I do, sir. I would like the staff to share with the public of the opportunity for them to get a hold of the Engage Mobile Outreach Toolbox. I read it. I enjoy looking at the pictures and future projects, or the future way of people engaging and how they can get involved with the planning, because the staff lays out the technique, the steps of how to engage yourself when you come to open house meetings, or if you come to the planning commission meetings. You are aware of what the staff has laid out for everyone that lives in the city. Now, there's others that may not be able to make it, but the staff helps with that. So I would like the staff to explain a little bit more on that tool that we have as commissioners, how the public can get a hold of it themselves.
I'm not sure how extensively we can go into it. It's not an agendized item, but it was provided to demonstrate tools and techniques that are for staff to use in engaging the public. So that's the purpose of it. We've already begun using them. We'll be using them additionally in the general plan effort. It's to give us additional ideas for reaching people and telling us kind of different ways to do it than what we've used before.
I'm glad for that, because like I said, as I was going through the pages, I went to page 60. Page 60, my daughter brought it out that I was in it, but it was not me that I was paying attention to. It's the young lady that's in the picture, who happens to be my granddaughter. That's what caught my eye. It was my granddaughter in the picture. So I was able to address that to her, because it's important when the city makes it an opportunity for all of us to come together, that parents have an obligation to bring their young ones, their teenagers, to these meetings, because this was a youth program that my daughter came to, that I took her to. So the city makes it possible for us to continue to be educated and learn what goes on to our city. So I was able to share this picture with my granddaughter and call her a movie star, and make her laugh, But that's what it takes for the next generation to know what's going on in the city of Moreno Valley. Because we're not going to be here forever. It's going to be a new set of commissioners. And we hope that it'll be the ones that come to the meeting while they're young and see what's going on in our city, so they can partake of the next generation that may be our grandkids and great-grandkids that may be in the city of Moreno Valley, because we want them to stay here, because we're doing good in the city of Moreno Valley with jobs, houses, development. We want them to stay here. And that's important when we do things for them, like the staff does every year through these pamphlets and projects. So I was glad, to see my granddaughter that she came out and learned something with the youth program. So I'm happy for her, to have fun with her. And I'm having fun with her with this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Rafael, that this, this is a good piece of work, and especially in consideration of the ongoing effort now to update the general plan. And, anybody that is listening out here on this thing, that this is the time for the community to engage and get involved with shaping what the future of the city is going to look like. I don't know when the last time the general plan was updated, but it's probably been an extended amount of time. So it is time to to get vocal and get your 2 cents in and participate, because in the city has obviously spent a lot of time and effort putting together an outreach plan, and hopefully it's implemented to its fullest so that it gets the best. Get a strategy forward for the city that works. I mean, it's a big city. One of the things, Moreno Valley is a big city. I think it says here that there's over 200,000 people in our city now as of 2018. So that's something to be proud of. So we should engage in that and make. If you don't engage, you can't sit back and complain when it's things go because you didn't participate. So participation is important. Any other comments or? Well, then I think this is going to be the shortest precedent-setting 2020 forward. We're adjourned at 7:30.
Go see Jeopardy.